Recording live inside the house. I'm Phil Hyland. That's Lee Hogarth. This is Does Contain Nuts, the podcast that grabs life by the balls. Episode 24. I feel like I sounded like a little bit professional. I sounded a bit like I was putting on a weird voice.
It sounded like a proper tongue twister. I know that.
Didn't it? And I didn't trip up once.
It sounded like our email address. It's about as long as my arm.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
The only email address I've got.
What is the new email address, mate? Why don't you remind me?
Great question.
Thanks.
Does contain nuts at hotmail.com. Does contain nuts at hotmail.com. So while we're on the topic, if you do have any questions or any topics you would love us to cover, or you have any questions you'd just like to ask about your own life, we're happy to answer these questions. No problem at all. So all you got to do, let me tell you this email again. All you got to do is drop us this email at doescontainuts@hotmail.com.
You know what this reminds
That's
me
as
of?
simple as that.
Also, if you've got any questions, you know, at the end of these podcasts, we always answer questions, don't we? That people ask us.
Yeah.
Last week was the fishing one.
The public question.
Yeah. So if you email us questions you want us to answer, like the answer to, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if you could have, would you rather have toes for a penis or a penis for toes?
There you go. Is that the actual real question for me now?
Yeah. What would you rather have? Toes for penis or penises for toes?
Penis for toes. Because that means that now 10 wanks, 10 wanks a day. You didn't think of that one, did you?
I knew you were going to say that. Yeah. I knew you were going to say that. But then you'd have like a toe for a cock.
Ooh, be tender walking across the ground and all that.
Be horrible, yeah. Oh,
You'd have to wear blobs for socks.
10 finger gloves. So it gave us. Also, that sounded like email had just been invented then when you were giving that address. It's like,
that's true though, isn't it? We did try and get a shorter one and have the abbreviations, but do you know what it is? I like that email address because you're not going to forget it, are you really? Hotmail is probably the email that's been around for the longest ever. And what's the name of the show? Does Contain Nuts.
Put two and two together. What'd you get? Does contain nuts at hotmail.com.
There you go. Quick maths.
Thanks very much. That's A-level, isn't it?
Quick maths. So, Philly H-Dog, what is your shit sandwich?
As we start every podcast with now, shit sandwich. Two good things that sandwich something that hasn't been so good about my week. So point number one, the first good part about my week was I've just discovered that there's a Nando's near me and it delivers. Oh, mate, what are your thoughts on Nando's?
It's too much flavour for me.
Nah,
it's
man.
Too spicy.
You don't have the plain. You don't have the spicy chicken. You get like the plain stuff.
Or like you can get just pure plain.
Oh, mate, yeah.
I've never had anything plain. Put it that way.
God.
I've always got. I'm like, what's the lowest sauce? That's what I've always said. Isn't it medium or something? It's the lowest sauce apart from that lemon and something.
Mine was just like a roast chicken I had last night. Delicious.
Oh wait, mate, I've not had it. So there you go. I could have been doing Nando's wrong the entire time.
You have been doing it wrong, mate. Yeah, well, everyone bangs on about Nando's and the hot sauce, don't they? Nah, don't need that. Just so I had this quarter or half a chicken, coleslaw, like treated myself really, chips, halloumi. Oh my God, I didn't realise I can even get that in my flat. Do you know what I mean? So I had that. It was just, you know, when you eat something and you're like, I don't want this to ever end.
Yeah.
And sadly, it did end. So I had that. So that was delicious. That was a good thing. The shit in the sandwich this week is, do you remember last week I told you one of the good things about my week was getting a new phone? I'm like, oh yeah, man, I've got a new phone. I've got a new contract. This is wicked. I've got a good deal. Well, the phone's turned up and it's, I don't know, man. It seems to be running slow. Now, you told me the other day that's to do with 5G, didn't you?
Yeah. That's the only thing I can think of, and that's what I got told. Yeah.
Do you know what it is though? It seems to be running slow.
But didn't you got the highest memory and everything as well, though, didn't you?
I did. So iPhones, I've realised, right? It's an iPhone. You go up to 11 right now. I think 11's the latest one. I think.
Yeah.
Right? But the woman said, "Why don't you get an SE?" I was like, well, "What's that?" And she's like, "It's sort of like a cheaper version." It came out this year, so it's not an 11, but it's like a small version. It's still got the button on it. So you can do fingerprint unlock and all that business, right?
Yeah.
She says it's all brand new. It's got the same processor as the 11. It's same this, that, and the other. It's just got slightly less features. I'm like, well, that's fine because I don't really care about having a brand new model as long as the phone's new. And it turns up and it's like it's the same as my old one, but 4G it keeps dropping out. right? Like signal, which pisses me off. And Wi-Fi, for some reason, if I go in the next room, next door to the route where the phone router is, Wi-Fi, it doesn't find it. So it's like the Wi-Fi receiver in the phone is rubbish. You know what I mean? And that really
I
annoys
wouldn't
me.
say something to them because you never know, it could be a faulty phone.
I'm going to say something, yeah. I mean, it still works,
Because
still does the job.
I don't think when I seen the status and when I was on about the signal thing, that was more of a signal thing, not that the phone was running slow or anything like that.
Yeah. So anyway, we'll see. I don't know. So I'm a bit annoying, but who cares? And the last part about the other good part to sandwich the shit in my sandwich is that I thought I was going to get ill this week. I thought I was going to get ill. Okay, so in fact, there are two parts to this. Right, there are two parts. My relationship status has recently changed, and you know this, right? I see you just muted your mic and turned around and did a massive cough, didn't you then?
Yeah.
Secret. You thought you were going to hide it, and I've just told everyone. So recently, relationship things are looking up, right? Which is nice. Feel they're like the doves are about to fly from behind my head. So things are good, man. I enjoy life. It's good. She's a lucky girl, let's be honest.
What he means is his bowels are empty.
Basically, my bars are empty, which is balls in Southern. Anyway, lucky girl. But she was ill the other week, and I thought I was going to get ill as well. Right now, you know, there's everything going around at the moment, and COVID and blah blah blah, and everyone seems to be assuming that if you've got the sniffles and a cold, you must be dying of coronavirus. Do you know what I mean? I don't really entertain that anymore. If I'm honest, I'm sick of hearing about it. But my point is, she didn't get ill. It didn't materialize into much past 24 hours for her. And I didn't get ill, right? I kind of was on the edge and I didn't. And it made me realize that actually, you know, living the lifestyle that I live is massively conducive to feeling good, right? And staving off illness. Do you ever do that when you think everyone else around you is getting ill and you don't? And you're like,
yeah, it happens all the time.
Bollocks to you lot. You lot laugh at me. Yeah, there you go. But I hammer this. I take this real high dose vitamin C supplement that I take. I drink loads of water. I eat well. I sleep a lot. And consequently, if everyone else is getting ill, I seem to swerve them. Now, I know I'm saying this, and I'm definitely going to be on my back tonight, probably, aren't I? Like, oh, I'm dying. Why did I say that? But I very rarely get ill, and I swerve these illnesses. And I think people need to realise that feeling good it comes from the inside out, right? We can work on our heads and deal with stuff that we coach, but you need to look after the whole of you, you know, inside and out. And it's just not about eating. I eat as much shit as the next person. Well, no, I don't actually, but I don't cut everything out. You know, just eating some skips, which are great. You don't need to swallow them. They just by osmosis dissolve, don't they? But on the whole, I'm pretty good. And the reason for that is because it helps me stay in pretty good shape in terms of illness. You know, I can swerve these things. I think people don't really realise that.
Nah, definitely. You're going to look after not only your mind, your body, and there you go, your mind, body, and emotions, laughing your tits off, basically.
Exactly, mate. That's exactly it. But also it reiterates what I want to reiterate to people listening to this, the important vitamin C. Me and you watched a really good thing the other week, didn't we? Phil Richards. And the importance of vitamin C. And that doesn't mean, because some people might be listening to this, go, oh, I take those, you know, those things you put in your drink and they fizz. Like, I take the Rockers. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it tastes delicious, like having squash. I think they're pointless, right? I don't know what you think about them, but the dosage is so low that it's not going to make much difference.
So what's the dose? Just to give the listener some. Because on there, 1,000 milligram.
I think it's even more than that. Yeah, I think it's about.
Them Everescent ones, or they're thousands, aren't they? But can't you? I'm sure you can go to like 4,000, can't you?
The one I've got. Hold on. Keep talking.
I wasn't talking in the first place, Phil. But I think when it comes to looking after your body, you just got to be sensible, and you just got to make sure that you're fueling your body with the right foods. in moderation, so you can enjoy life as well. There's some people who go at the extremes of super supplementation, of eating lettuce all of the time, and that can be unhealthy too, in my opinion. So you gotta think about creating a body that's going to work for you and it's going to last you. Do you know what I mean? And you don't have to go to the extremes for that.
I agree. I was just looking up what normal vitamin C. Hold on a sec.
They're 1,000 normal.
Is that what they are? That's interesting. Well, this is 11.25, and I have 2 of them a day.
So those doses are so across your whole day, your dosage is higher.
Yeah.
Because them are the ones that advertised as a 1 a day, 1,000 milligram.
Yeah.
But again, what's the quality? You know what I mean?
Definitely. Yeah.
There's a lot of fucking fillers, and like I'm sure are you on vitamin C powder there?
Yeah.
There's going to be way less fillers inside of
there.
there.
Mate, there's loads. All there is literally this is magnesium, ascorbic acid, which is vitamin C, powdered extract of something else, and flavour, and that's it.
So you're got to think about the quality of the product as well, don't you? Do you know what I mean?
Man. Yeah, definitely.
Like if you get one of those capsules, it says it all when it's fucking frothing in your glass. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a bit weird, isn't it? It's
fucking
weird,
bubbling over the glass like fucking witchcraft.
Yeah.
It kind of says it all. You know what I mean? They actually I have Barocca. It actually makes me feel sick, if I'm honest.
Yeah, same here. So they're very
I
sweet,
feel
aren't
a
they?
bit sick on them. I feel a bit sick off them, so I don't have them. Like.
Yeah.
But there you go.
So that's my shit sandwich for this week.
Oh, that was your second good bit.
Yeah, and I just didn't get ill. Yeah. So relationship status is good. At last, love life has kind of taken a turn for the better, and yeah. There you go.
There you go.
That's it. Didn't get ill. So there you go.
Non-ill Phil.
Non-ill Phil.
There's a better one than that, but that was as quick as I could get it.
That wasn't really to be honest.
I'm too busy thinking of my shit sandwich in the back of my brain.
Go on then, let's get to yours.
So, I'll get with the first good piece, the slice of bread, is I really enjoyed, which I didn't think I would, going to Ikea on Sunday.
Oh, mate. Did you have an argument with your missus?
No, that's the good thing. We went for a little, it was like a proper family date. Do you know what I mean? We had like a proper little date day where me, Catherine and Eva went, and we're strolling around and we're looking at things that we're going to get for the future, and we're like, Eva's looking at beds for our bedroom and jumping around, and she's like looking at stuff, and I'm picking her up and chucking her in the teddies and all the stuff you shouldn't be doing in a pandemic. But just having a laugh and just pottering around, and it was just nice, mate. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
And then you get yourself a little hot dog at the end, and we just had a nice, non-stressful day out.
Jesus, I'm not sure that's ever happened in the existence of Ikea, of couples going to Ikea.
It was just, Catherine got everything that she wanted, which also makes it a good trip, you know what I mean?
Main thing, mate.
Exactly. I just enjoyed the day, mate. I just enjoyed the day. I really did. Nice. So that was that bit. Now, the shit bit, I'm sure I'm struggling to find the shit bit, you know.
Well, that's good, isn't it? That's not a bad thing.
I know. I've had a bloody good week. I've started. Obviously, the 70 upgrade finished last week. We rolled someone into Invincible 2 from there. Last week I was kind of. Do you know how many ads have just not been working very well? Boring business thing. They kind of pulled themselves out of the bag this week. So I got 8 or 9 new clients into the group training.
Wicked.
Which is brilliant considering I only marketed it for a week. Not even that. I think it was from last Wednesday, to be honest. After the challenge had finished. So that was a good thing. We're getting that going this week. I've really been focusing on myself a lot now. I know we're only a few days into the week, but I've been focusing a lot on myself. And it's making us feel good. Like I had a bath before this. Bloody bath midday.
Mate,
look at that.
Afternoon bath, daytime baths. I do that a lot. They're brilliant. Stick a podcast on audio book. Turn the lights off. Turn the extractor fan off because that just ruins the vibe completely. And just sit there. Normally I fall asleep, but it's just brilliant. Good.
Exactly. So I'm gonna be very boring. Yeah, I can't think of a piece of shit. Even though it's my invention of the shit sandwich, I can't think of a piece of shit. So I'm just gonna give you another piece. I'm gonna have a bread sandwich today, Ben. I'm gonna have a
Oh,
bread sandwich. Boring
boring.
bread
Yeah,
sandwich.
that
I
is
know.
boring, mate.
I know. But yeah, listen, this is a good one. This is my last piece of bread. Look, this is the bun on top, the seeded bit. So I went out for a walk before I went in the bath today, and I'm walking along. It's the coast to coast route, just next to mine, where they do that big race across the country thing. And I'm just minding my own business, having a little stroll along. I always say hello to everyone. Like a lot of them, it depends on how far into the woods you get as to whether people say hello back or not.
Right.
On the
Go on, hang on,
outskirts,
hang on.
kind
All
of.
right, go on. Yeah, go on.
On the outskirts, they're kind of a bit more miserable. Then you get further in, and everyone's like, "Oh, no, no, no," as they're getting the oxygen's gone to the head or whatever.
Yeah.
So I'm going along, and I'm just about to turn left at this little turny back fork in the road, and there's a little deer walking along, and I'm like, "Oh, morning, hiya," and then she smiles at us, and then as I'm just like continuing to walk, because nobody really stops and has a conversation these days, you know what I mean? As I turn around my back and I start to walk back down this little ramp, she's like, "Excuse me," bless her, a little woman as well, and she's like, "What's down there?" And I was like, "Oh wait, it's same as up here, really. To be honest, I went trees, grass, and mud." I went, "But it's a nice little walk." And she went, "Oh, I've never walked this far before. I don't really know where I'm at." She says, "So if I keep walking along here, where's it take, etc. If I go down there, where's it take you?" And I just told her, and I said, "Listen, when I'm going this way anyway, come walk with me, join me on the walk." So I got this little old lady. She's 77 years old, and she's called Iris. Shout out.
Big up, Iris.
Big up Iris from Lambton. And mate, we just had a bloody pleasant walk, and it was nice, right? Because I'm very old-fashioned and traditional. I think people should communicate a lot more. People should talk to the elderly and make sure they're all right and things like that. And we were just walking along. We just had a nice conversation. We're talking about how she likes to go to Slimming World. She likes to go. She likes to go to Slimming World. She likes to do dancing, and all that she's got left to do now is just going for walks. And as we walked for about half an hour, and then when we left, she was like, "You know what, Lee? You've been brilliant company. I've absolutely loved your company. Thank you very, very much.
How
It made
nice
me
is
day."
that?
And I just like kind of, do you know when you're a kid and you set your girlfriend off to the bus stop?
Yeah.
It was like that. I like set her off to cross this little bridge that heads towards her estate. I was like, "Go on then, dear. I'll see you later on." It was
Nice.
lush, mate. It was really nice. She's a sweet old woman, and then I just continued on my walk, and I was like, that was nice. That was. Do you know when something drops in your day to make your day fucking beautiful? Now, if I hadn't have gone for that walk, or if I hadn't have said hello, that probably wouldn't have happened. And
Then
there's a
you got
lot of
home.
things that's happened in my life when I've said hello to people, and I think there's a lot. You get a lot from being fucking nice to someone, don't you?
Yeah, too
You
right.
get a lot from just saying hello.
Yeah.
So that's my top piece of bread there. That's it. That's my top piece
Then
of
you
bread.
sat
It
on
was
a
bloody
bench and
lush.
counted
Yeah,
the
what?
money that you nicked on her purse.
I bet she really must have trusted us, because where we did go was proper over, the trees come right over, and it was like
Yeah.
we're going
Blimey.
deep into the woods, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's proper
Yeah.
dark, muddy, there's nobody around, and
Jesus.
first person just met is me. And like,
Blimey.
it's nice. I want people, like, in life, I want people to look at me as being approachable. I want people to think that I'm approachable, and I like people to talk to us and reach out and things like that. Like, I don't want to be, you get those types, like, who go around intimidating people, and they want to have that power of, I'm going to intimidate you, and I'm more powerful than you, and all that shit. It's a load of fucking bollocks, man. Just be nice. Just
Yeah.
be nice and fucking share the love, shall we say.
You get way further being nice, mate. You get way further being
Exactly.
nice. I used to use the word hippie a lot, but in a bit of a derogatory, not particularly, I'd say, "Oh, I know I'm sounding like a hippie right now," but but in actual fact, I realise now that people that live in that hippie way of life, that don't really care
Oh, the
about
love and
things,
life, yeah.
don't care, they love life, man. They're the
Yeah,
happiest people. They're the
yeah.
happiest ones. It's the people that are trying to earn as much money as they possibly can, And the people that are worrying about what they look like and worrying about their hair and this, that, and the other, they're the ones that aren't as happy. You know what I mean? They're the ones that are struggling.
Exactly.
And yeah, we can learn a lot, I think, from that hippie way of life.
It's that flow, isn't it? It's like, we'll say hippies, they live in that little state of flow, don't they? They're very present and they're just flowing through life. And it's funny because they are just flowing through life, yet a lot of successful people and businessmen and women, they're really trying to find that flow, but they're looking in the wrong direction.
100%.
Like they're moving so fast and moving so radically, trying to find this flow. It's because they're going in the wrong, they're going the opposite way to being a hippie.
Looking in the wrong
Like
places.
That's where that flow is, isn't it? Really.
One of my very, very good friends, in fact, she's an ex of mine from a long time ago, is a complete hippie, like proper blue dreadlocks. Do you know what I mean? And just whatever. But she lives in her own bubble, real own bubble of just hippiness. Do you know what I mean? Like tie-dye all over the place and everything else. But it's happy. You know, he's happy. He's happy having nothing or having not a lot. He's happy just getting on with life and doesn't worry about what people think. Doesn't worry about what's going on and all of that. You know, doesn't get involved in the news and all of the shit that's happening. And consequently, it's pretty stress-free, happy. Doesn't have all those. Well, obviously does have some, but has a lot less of all of the things that a lot of people who live what you might call a normal life are trying to get rid of. Anxiety, worry, stress, overwhelm, you know? And there's a lot of kind of, again, use that word like loosely, hippie type people, that people like me back in the old day, I used to laugh at people like that and think, stupid hippie, right? But you've got it made because they've got what people are looking for.
Yeah. You know? Without having to get anything, essentially.
Yeah. And it goes back to, it kind of links into that one of I love this quote. The person who needs nothing has everything.
Yeah.
You know, if you don't need anything, you've actually got everything because you're not on the constant hunt for stuff. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Material things, money, certain this. It's like, well, I'm totally happy with everything I've got. I don't need anything. You know?
Yeah. It's funny, it's funny you say that because I'm getting a lot more like that.
I'm way more like that these days.
But it's I don't know. I don't know if I like it, mate. I don't know. Like I'm at the point where I'm like my dad already. I'm like, I don't need anything. Don't get me anything. Like Christmas, I don't need anything. I've got everything I need. Like I'm a bit like that. But then at the same time, sometimes you're like, why don't I need anything? You know what I mean? Sometimes you kind of want for wanting's sake, innit? But I want to want for wanting's sake because I don't. Does that make sense?
No, it doesn't make any sense whatsoever. I think it's the reason that you want things. Do you know? Yeah. So like me, I want lots of nice fishing stuff because that's my main. I love that, right? So I want them because they will make my experience going fishing better. And obviously, let's be honest, if you got better gear, you catch more fish. That's how it works, right? All the gear and fuck all idea. But it's when you want things to kind of look nice in front of other people.
Yeah.
That it's a little bit different.
You know, though, I was very, very, very much like that.
Between need and want. Some people they need things, whereas actually I just want it.
When I was 18 and whatever, I know you go through this kind of phase, don't you? But I would be buying all these stuff and it did make you feel fucking good. But now, like if I bought a Boss t-shirt then I'd feel fucking amazing. If I buy a Boss t-shirt now, I'm just like, oh, I've got a Boss t-shirt.
Yeah. But also, how long
doesn't it?
But also, how long does it make you feel amazing for? It's
no.
I've got a t-shirt. Okay, everyone's seen it. I've worn it too.
It's very short-lived,
Now I've got to get another one. Another one.
It's very short-lived, yeah.
Whereas if
maybe it's just that you get older and wiser and you crack the code that you're just chasing your tail.
And I think you become more selective with the things that you buy. You genuinely want. Like I want this really cool record player to go in there, right, in the other room.
Yeah.
I just want it. I don't want it to so that people come around and go, wow, that's cool. I just want it to play vinyls and listen to tunes on. Exactly. Yeah. And there's the amount of things that I want now are small. Whereas back in
So
the day, I want
it's
them
the
for
difference between wanting stuff for you and wanting stuff for others, isn't it?
yeah, definitely. I've gone past the point of trying to show off and buy things, and and look what I've got. Oh, look at these, look at this, look at that. It's like, no. Yeah.
Exactly, and that there's a bit like what you were talking about earlier on. It's that one part of the spectrum, isn't it? It's that like whole kind of wealth kind of thing. Like, oh, look, I'm on this holiday. I've got this car. I've got this, and then you go, you got fuck all in the bank, mate.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Or you've got no lads. You've got no family. You've got no like not be down on it. But that's all you do have. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. And also, what the other interesting thing I was thinking about this quite recently is, so like right now, 38, I don't have a massive house. I don't have a fancy car. Do you know what I mean? I've got a 2-bedroom flat. It's a nice flat. 2-bedroom flat. Old Audi outside, right? Pretty old. It's like 10 years, 15 years old, my car. I don't have loads of expensive stuff, but I am now, probably the happiest I've been maybe in my life in a long time, right?
Yeah.
And I don't have loads of things. And I used to think that I would have to have all these things to be happy. So I've kind of proved that wrong. I'm massively content now, massively content with everything I've got. Do you know? So I've kind of proven it to myself that I don't need things. I can be I can have a decent life and a good laugh and enjoy myself, which I am massively now, on quite minimal stuff. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
I think as well, like just we were talking about my purpose and that it was on the last podcast, wasn't it? Or we were having that discussion or what have you. And inside of like what I call my purpose, there's no things involved, is there? So it's like to have as many happy memories and experiences as I can while helping people along the way. There's no things involved in there. It's experiences, isn't it? It's like, and here's the thing. Look at today for a perfect example. I went for a walk and I had a beautiful fucking experience.
Yeah, man.
And I created a mint memory and I had a great time, and it didn't fucking cost me an out. I didn't have to get anything.
Exactly, and that will make you feel better than buying some new Hugo Boss t-shirt.
Exactly, and I'm going to remember this. I'm going to remember this day for quite a bit.
Yeah, exactly. And also the other thing is you get used to what you've got, don't you? So it's like I'm completely
depreciation in it. It's what's it called? It's something depreciations is the word, isn't it?
So you buy a new thing after a few, however long period of time, you're just used to it.
Yeah.
Like, well, it's not new anymore. It's not impressing anyone anymore. So I'll have to get something else.
Exactly. It's funny. It's funny we're talking about this topic, to be honest, because today's public question falls in line with this actually. And the public question's actually from me.
Well then, good.
Well, it's not. It's not from me. It's from somebody else. But it's from a conversation that I had, which spouted this in itself. So, on one of my calls, inside of Invincible, in the 70 upgrade, I was in Invincible 1, the 2 anyhow. We were talking about the law of attraction. And there's a beautiful story, I think you've heard before. A beautiful story where a man wakes up in paradise and he's walking along and he's in this beautiful paradise.
I heard this story the other day. Where did I hear this?
Yeah,
from you?
Sent you it. Yeah, I sent you it.
Yeah.
And he wakes up and he ends up under a wishing tree, right? And then he starts to wish for his food. He gets food. He wishes for water and drink. He gets that. And then he's like, there must be ghosts around here. So then he's like, oh, ghosts. So ghosts appear. Then he thinks the ghosts have come to torture him. So the ghosts torture him. And then he thinks the ghosts are going to kill him. So they do. And he finds out that he's underneath a wishing tree. After all that time, he's under a wishing tree. So the question is, what 3 wishes would you have underneath that wishing tree? If you knew you were under a wishing tree, what would your 3 wishes be?
Oh, Jesus Christ, that's a massively deep question. The first one would be that me and my family and loved ones and all that stay healthy for their entire life. Right? That'd be the first one.
That's a hard one. That.
Why?
See, the thing with wishes is you've got to be very clear, because that one there. So I don't want to say it, but I'm gonna have to, honor.
Go on.
Like you said there, they want them to be healthy for their entire life.
Yeah.
Well, they're going to be healthy until they die.
Yeah, and then
So you want them to be healthy
and then just die a
and
quick
live
death
to.
when they die at a
Oh, is that what you
reasonable
want?
age.
So you don't want them to live like a long time and be healthy.
No. I want them
It's just like when it's.
have a nice life, be healthy. You can't not die. I don't think. Haven't cracked
Oh
that.
no! But I mean,
So
like
get through life.
I could live a healthy life. I could be
Mm.
very healthy, and I could go out in the car now and crash the car and die, and that would be very short life.
Okay, that's a good point. I'll be more specific. That's a good point.
You see what I mean?
So what I want them to do, I don't want any of them. Here's a better way of putting it. I don't want any of my family or loved ones in that, people close to me, to have to suffer at any point in their life. There you go. That's better, isn't it?
There we go.
There you go. Right. And
it's a lengthy life.
I'll add on. Yeah, it's a lengthy life. Yeah.
Wishes are hard, aren't they? Though
wishes are really hard, mate. They're really hard.
There's one.
There's one. Jesus, let me think of another one. I could go down the whole world peace route in that, but that's kind of a given. I think everyone wants that. Do you know what I mean? And for the environment to be nice, and so I'm not going to do that. I'm going to be more selfish than that. Attenborough's got that covered anyway.
Yeah.
You've seen that new Attenborough? You have seen that Attenborough theory? It's good.
I told you to watch it, man.
Yeah, you did, yeah. Jesus, it's quite hard, isn't it? A second wish would be for me to. It's about health though. Again, it's like I want to say like for me to remain as happy, anxiety, worry free, everything else as possible. You know what I mean? That's just a bit of a wanky one, isn't it? Really, it's just a bit.
Because you kind of already know how to do that anyway.
Yeah, I know.
To be fair, you're backing up your story from before.
What?
Because you said, like, I don't want anything. I've got everything I need. I've got everything I have. And I'll just give you 3 fucking wishes to have anything in the world. And you've got one.
Yeah.
And you're going to take it out else.
That's a good point. Yeah, I am.
Yeah.
Okay, if I was being really, this is a really superficial one, I would say I wish I could, because you always sound greedy, even do you, on these things.
What would you do? Just do go. Just
one wish there honest. And then I would go on to there's a place called Palmer Sports. Have you ever heard of that? Which is a track day, right? Palmer Racing Sports, racing day, racing cars for like 8 hours, all these different cars get taken out. It's not just like drive a Ferrari for an hour.
Yeah.
Proper racing with pro racers that tell you to go and rag the cars. So that's definitely, and it's like $1,000 or something to do it. So I'd just say, take me there right now. I want to do it. That'd be the wish number 2. And wish number 3 would probably be for me to experience the best fishing in as many countries as I possibly can around the world.
That's a good wish, man.
Yeah.
That's a good fucking wish.
Yeah.
To travel exactly like essentially travel the world.
Travel the world, going fishing.
A bit like what Attenborough done with
his life,
just everything.
Yeah,
exactly. No wonder he's still alive in '93.
Yeah, mate. No wonder he's still alive, man. Yeah, that's how you do it, isn't it? That is how you do it. Yeah.
Experiences. It's all about good, happy, genuine.
It is.
Loving experiences.
Yeah, it was like that racing day. I just really want to do it because I know I feel it's an experience. Right? I don't really care. I don't want to say, oh, yeah, I wish I had a RS6 sat on my drive, or I wish I had, a mansion or anything like that. I don't really, if I'm honest, care about stuff like that. I'd like to have a bit of a bigger place because, you got to back out of my kitchen, but it's kind of, doesn't really do it for me, that really, if I'm honest.
Well, here's my wishes. Well, one of them for me would be a little bit like that. But for me, because often you walk along, you're like, oh, I wish I could do that, or I wish I had this, or I wish, do you know what I mean? So I think everybody's going to wish for their family and friends and everyone who's surrounded by to have a fucking good life, a fucking brilliant life. You know what I mean? So I think everyone's going to choose that for at least wish one, then. Surely, right? So that's like wish 1. Wish 2, right? I want to be fucking successful. I don't want to be famous. I want to be successful. I want to experience what it's like to have a lot of money and a lot of options. Now, that's the thing. I wouldn't wish for that. I'd wish for the skills to create that.
Yeah.
It's a bit like, would you rather have 20 grand or be taught how to make it?
Mm.
I'd rather be like, I'd love to be able to guide myself on the path and create this, I don't know, this mega business or this mega foundation that changes how people feel, that changes the world in a sense, and leave a stamp on the world and leave like a legacy in a sense. Because there's so many people, and this is the one that always stands out for me, is Caroline Flack. And she was famous, she was mega successful, and most people have forgot about her now.
Yeah.
But then you've got the likes of like Einstein, you've got the likes of like, even if you go all the way back to like Seneca and the philosophers of back in the day, they've left some mark on the world. They've left a bloody legacy, haven't they? I'd love that. I'd love to leave something behind, a legacy behind that people can live up to or learn from, or do you know what I mean?
I can see it
So
now.
I'd love to be able to create. So my second wish would be to be able to create a successful business or foundation that leaves behind a legacy in my name to help everybody else in the world.
Seneca, Einstein, Attenborough, Hogarth.
There you go.
Natural progression, mate. Yeah, natural timeline. Good.
So that's number 2. Number 3. I'd love to visit as many countries as I possibly can in the world. Now, imagine this for a scenario. Within that foundation, being able to travel around the world with my family.
Yeah.
And whatever that foundation, helping people around the world, like traveling the world doing that. That would be double bang for buck, wouldn't it? Right?
Yeah, it would. That's the one.
So yeah, there's my wishes.
I've thought of one more.
Yeah.
I'd be a girl for the day, just to see what it's like. You know what I'm talking about.
Bloody hell.
There you go.
Compare the two. So you can compare the two.
Definitely rather be a bloke, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. Fucking periods every month. Fuck that.
Yeah, I'll do it for a day, not on that day of the month. Imagine that. The genie says it. Well, you didn't specify the day, mate. Oh, God, bollocks. That'd be annoying.
Hands covered in fucking vampire blood.
Yeah. Oh, man. Anyway, good question.
There you go.
Good question. Good question. Tough question.
So, if we'll wrap it up here, yeah?
Yeah.
If you have any questions, like we said at the start, please fire them over to doescontainnnuts@hotmail.com. And those questions, the public questions, as you can tell, can just be about anything. Something you might want to learn about Phil, something you might want to learn about me, something you're just curious of, or it can be mindset related or what have you, but anything. Just fire over anything you like. Just fire over your questions and we'll get them covered. And also if there's any topics that you'd like to cover. So there we go. Episode 24. Shit sandwich and 3 wishes. What are you writing about that?
You reckon about that?
Writing about that?
I reckon that's
right. We will see you next Monday on our next podcast release. Make sure you follow us. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you share our shit and have a great bloody day. Peace.
Peace.